Okay, so here's the problem. I have this video here that is extremely good quality, or at least good enough quality that I'm willing to accept. But the problem is the audio sucks. I'm not going to show it because this video is probably going to get banned. So the solution that I came up with that I'm willing to overcome is find another version with lower quality but better sound. Extract the sound and replace the better sound to the good quality file, so then we have an actual good quality video and good quality sound. Awesome, right? So here's how I did it after playing around with some of the different softwares that are released out there. I found this to be relatively straightforward to do. So this particular one, you would need the sound from this, right? I'm working on particularly episode 24. I'm just going to copy this. So the piece of software that I use to take the video from this is actually on Android. So the Android emulator that I'm using is Memu, and I'm using Web Video Caster to paste that link there, and it loads up, and then we can download this via TS. For simplicity's sake, I've already done this, so just to show you that I have it downloaded right here, episode 24. And so we no longer need Memu. So if you have an Android phone, you can do this too. If your computer particularly does not support virtualization, then you would not be able to install Memu correctly. But if you have an Android phone, you can go ahead and do that, and then route the file back onto your computer. It's really up to you how you do it, but just telling you that I personally use that, and it's straightforward enough. But if your computer doesn't support virtualization, you probably are out of luck in terms of putting an Android emulator like Memu or BlueStacks or whichever other emulator that you might know of. Okay, you need virtualization for Memu to work. But okay, so now that I have the file that is working somewhere, let me just dig it up on my other screen. You don't need to know where I'm digging this up, but it's right here. Okay, it's right here. And we got that 24 there. So the thing is, this audio is the better version from the one that originally came from. So we're going to do a side-by-side comparison in just a moment. But the first thing I'm going to do is to put in that audio file, drag it right into Audacity. And even though it is a video file, dragging it in here, Audacity is able to recognize just the audio. Do be careful if you drag it in and you're getting some sort of an error. It's probably because you don't have the libraries involved. So if you go to Preferences and Libraries, you may not have FFmpeg. I'm going to have a portable version linked down below, so then it should already have the MP3, the lame MP3 library and the FFmpeg libraries included for you, so you can just use it. Okay, so this is the good audio. Okay, personally, I remember the good audio is on the top, so then I remember it. Now, the software that I use is called LosslessCut. Thanks to right here, LosslessCut. Thanks to this person on GitHub that you can download from here. Scrolling down, I have the version, this right here. You need to unzip it using 7-zip. Again, link below. That will directly link you to this download. And you do need 7-zip to unzip this. Okay, WinRAR is not going to work. So how is this going to help? I'm going to drop that file into LosslessCut. And it's going to take a moment, and then it's going to convert or whatever the case is. And so we're going to take a look at the tracks. Right now, I know for a fact that the first track is Mandarin. Then the second track is the crappy Cantonese version. So the first thing I'm going to do is extract both of them because I don't want to remove I don't want to remove it from the file itself. I want to keep the original tracks, just that I'm going to be adding the new one on. I'm going to then turn off these two. I don't need them. Okay. We're going to come back to LosslessCut in just a minute. So now the files are created to a location that you specify from here, working directory set, and I set mine to a location in which you don't need to know. Which is right here. 24, stream 1, stream 2. And I mentioned to you already that I know that the first one is Mandarin, the second one is Cantonese. So dragging that into Audacity, we can see a top and bottom version of the good one on top, the bad one on the bottom. Hugely different. So very, very soft, and then the top one is very, very good. So if we zoom both in, you can see that there are similar locations, and they are off by a tad little bit. Okay, so we're going to match the audio as well. So how I usually do it is I zoom in quite a bit, and it's very obvious that this should start here, but I don't really want to trust that one. I find something that's a little bit more obvious, say here, and will match with this. So zoom in to a certain point. To time shift, you take, this is the newest version of Audacity, 3.3.1, that I don't know which version that it started to allow for this one, because it used to have a time shift tool, but I think this one is relatively straightforward to use as well. So I'm going to drag this one all the way here, roughly, and then zoom in a little bit more. Okay, this should match that. So I'm going to keep doing that. And then if you're questioning, then hover over the time, and then you see a line that goes through both. So then as long as it roughly kind of resonates with the two, then we should be okay. For example, these two peaks should resemble these two. Okay, it should. So it's not quite there. So moving it back, these two troughs should match up. Not quite. Okay, about there. These two troughs match up, and then scrolling over, then these two peaks should match up as well. Now this is the beginning, right? This is the beginning. So then I'd like to scroll over to the end and take a look at something near the end, just to see if it still matches up, because I have encountered two episodes that the audio messed up somewhere. So now again, these two look like they're pretty obvious. So you can see we matched the beginning, but the back doesn't match up. Let's find where it screwed up. So we're at 36. Let's go a little bit further back. Maybe 23. Okay, check this out. 21, we're still okay. Oh, it's actually a little bit off now. So something screwed up before. Let's keep going. Okay, this one's pretty obvious. Okay, it looks fine. So it's somewhere between 20 and 26 that it didn't match. This one looks okay. All right, how about here? That looks okay. This one looks okay. This big peak looks okay too. This big peak looks okay. This big peak looks okay. Peak looks okay. And then these look okay. This one looks okay too. Okay, let's keep going. Keep going. How about here? 21. That looks okay. Now remember, I'm zoomed in, so then even though I seem to be going pretty far, I've only gone a minute of the sound. And we were looking at the fact that it's between 20 and 26, right? So it take a little bit more time to look through it. Now I'm at 22, 23, perhaps maybe 23 then. Oops, went a little too far. Okay, 23 is here, and then zoom in a little bit more. Okay, I do notice that it seems to screw up here. Wait, no, maybe not. No. Still looks fine. Sorry, I clicked on it. So it is recording my my desktop audio as well. So whatever plays in my speakers, you will hear it as well. Okay. What? Where? Okay. That looks fine. This looks fine. This looks fine. Where's the discrepancy? That looks fine. That looks fine. $25 now. That looks fine. It may be that we were not looking in the right place. We skipped a little too far. Oh, geez. I think I found it right here. Oh, no. Wait, no. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it from here. Notice how these two seem to not match. So starting from here, the starting of this section, it's already not quite matching. This part is very obvious. It's not matching. So it is possible. Now, remember, this is 1 second, right? And it having such a small discrepancy, we're talking about less than a split second of a difference. So it's not that noticeable. But once there's too many of them, then once you get down to 10 minutes later, it's going to be a huge difference. So recognizing that there's that discrepancy here would make it easier for you to, like for example, we could delete a little bit from here, like a tad bit. We can even zoom in a little bit more just to get a better sense of what we're deleting. So if we just delete this portion, then these two are going to match up a little bit better. Okay, and we can start to see that this is not matching up. So then we can delete a little tad bit here just to bring it back, because this is very obvious that it's just blank sound. And we're editing the good one, not editing the old one. We're trying to match the old one. Okay, here, then this is a better. Scrolling a bit more, then we can see that this part matches on 25. If we scroll out, zoom out, and go back to somewhere in the 30s, does it now match better? Yeah, it matches a lot better. Yep, it looks okay. And then once we get to, because the video is only 45, right? So once we get to about 42, and if it matches, I think we're pretty much done. And there's a slight discrepancy, but you're not going to tell when you're watching the video. So I think we're done. And then what I would do is just to listen to it. If there's no obvious overlapping, what I would do is also to mute one of them, and then immediately right? And then we're done. Turn off the old one, make sure this is unmuted, export it as MP3. Personally, I went for the insane preset of 24 and export it. The longest is actually here. It takes like 30 seconds to export this. And then we're going to go right back to our lossless cut, and then come back into the tracks. Wait until this is done, and then that's going to be the first thing that we're going to import. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay, include other tracks. And those other tracks were in new folder 24 here. And then I'm going to edit the metadata and add in a title. The value is Cantonese. Click this OK. If you don't click this check mark, it wouldn't be OK. And then include the other two, because I deleted it, right? So I include, go back to this spot. I'm going to include the second one first because I'm Cantonese. I'm going to edit and add in the Cantonese low, the bad quality, and then also include the first stream, which is the Mandarin version. Title, oops, made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, okay, sorry. Add metadata, title again, typo. This is Mandarin. Okay, done. Now, close this, export using MP4, export, done. And then, oops, here's the video. I can't show you the video because, again, get banned, but here it is. Audio, track, Cantonese, Cantonese low, and the Mandarin version. Now, I would go through some quality control just to make sure that it's actually fine. Like the mouth matches the audio, and that's how I do it. Like I would believe that the audio the quality is better because I didn't actually re-encode something. Okay, I just fixed the audio. You saw how exporting it was very fast. So I didn't re-encode the video. I just modified the audio, added audio in. And so we can take a look at the file sizes. This is 1 gig, 722,516. So 1.7 gigabytes, whereas the original file was 1.6 gigabytes. Links down below.